Hey guys, welcome back to my current training split. This will be the last video of the series, so this is my pull day, which is after my push day and my split. I know it's kind of confusing, I kind of just filmed stuff out of order, but this is my second to last day of my week. I finished my week off with legs, my leg day B, but let's get right to it. So I start off with some neutral grip pull downs here with a focus, or an emphasis I should say, on lats more than anything. So we're driving those elbows down into our side, keeping our chest up a little bit, really trying to squeeze and connect with our lats. And we're using some Versa grips here as well, make sure our hands don't slip. And then we do 3 working sets on the neutral grip lat pull downs. You're only going to see 2, but that's about it for that. I start with the neutral grip lat pull downs because I really have been trying to develop my lats a little bit more during this bulk. I don't know how successful I've been. I've definitely noticed an improvement in my traps. And if you're looking at me, you probably will be like, where? But they've definitely, developed a little bit more, so I'm happy with that. I'm only going to push up about 7 more pounds, I think. And then I'm going to cut down. I'm kind of excited to cut down. It's kind of hard pushing food. And I've been dealing with some acid reflux problems as well, so I'm sure my stomach will appreciate me losing some food. I'm going to do a in-person talking clip right here, so be ready. Hey guys, it's Jacob here, aka Higher Order Training. I just wanted to make a quick video addressing like a misconception about using wrist reps, or I should say straps, for your pulling movements. There's a lot of, I see a lot of conflict and debate on, should you use straps? Should you never use straps? I just wanted to address, like, when you use straps, you're still using your grip and your forearms. It doesn't eliminate them completely. It just makes it less likely that they are a limiting factor in your exercise. So, like for example, like I'm doing some lat pull downs right now with a neutral grip. I'm just gonna wrap this around, and then I'm gonna curl it in, and then I'm gonna grab on real tight. So I'm still using my forearms, still using my grip, just less likely that my hand slips out of position or that my hand fatigue is what causes me to stop my set. That's all. It's not like, it doesn't completely negate your grip and your forearm. You're still gonna get some stimulus there, just not as much. But that's okay, because the goal of doing a pull down isn't to develop my forearm, it's to develop my lats. I'm not saying you should use your straps for everything. I didn't use my straps for every single warm-up set up to my top set. I use them for probably the set before my top set just to get comfortable using them, and then for my top sets because I don't want my grip to be the limiting factor. I want my lats and my back fatiguing to be what stops me from doing my set. All right, so back to yapping from my computer desk. So after the neutral grip lat pull downs, we move on to a seated cable row with a bench for some stability. This really has been one of my favorite movements of this split. Just get a really good connection with my back, feel nice and stable, and I really like the tension of the cable compared to if you were to do just like a traditional seated cable row. I feel like there's just too many moving components to it that, like I say, limiting factors. So with the bench support here, there's almost no limiting factors besides my back fatiguing or my grip fatiguing. But on a on a traditional seated cable row, you have to protract, and your spine's gonna move a lot, and you're gonna have to make sure you're not swinging too much, etc. So we'll do 2 sets here. Sorry for the flashbang. Just trying to get the 1 set on both sides for you guys here. Yeah, I don't have much to say here. So for my pull day, we do we alternate between like a pull down, so vertical pull, and horizontal pulls. So I start with neutral grip lat pull downs, then I do the seated cable row, then I do a traditional lat pull down, then I do a dumbbell row, and then I finish off my back with a lat pull over with the Vulcan strap, and you'll see that towards the end of my back movements, and then we move on to some biceps. But yeah, we got some lat pull downs coming up here next. So got the lat pull downs. These are just traditional, and I can't stress this enough with traditional pull downs. Please, if you don't have an extremely developed back, just pick something that feels comfortable grip wise and rock with it. Okay, this right here is what feels best for me on my grip. I can acknowledge that my back is not developed, so I do not need to worry about biasing, lats more, upper back more. This is just a back compound movement. It's hitting a little bit of everything in your back, and you just want to progress it as smoothly and as quickly as possible. So to do that, you just pick what grip feels the best for your joints. And I apply that same standard for a lot of my lifts, and I think a lot of people should too. I think comfort is an underrated training tool. And following on that comment of comfort being an underrated training, variable, I should say, I think it really is, because too often do we think that we have to do certain exercises because we've seen them being done by, popular people, or that's like popular on TikTok, or, you saw Ronnie Coleman do them. It's like, if there's one thing that a lot of people need to know in the gym, is that there are absolutely no must-do exercises. Like, if an exercise feels horrible on your joints, you don't have to do it, And I learned that the hard way. And I'm still learning that the hard way. I'm pretty stubborn, That's why I've had shoulder surgery, because I just kept benching regardless of how my shoulders felt, because I wanted to be a big bencher. Maybe I'll make a video and get into that a little bit more, but let's get back on track here. Got some dumbbell rows here. I don't know how I feel about dumbbell rows. I like them, and then I don't like them at the same time. I feel a good connection with my lats on these, and my mid back, but I feel like they're pretty demanding on your joints, just moving a lot of weight. And if I can give some advice on the dumbbell rows, do not copy me here. Do not do your dumbbell rows on the rack. The only reason I do this is because I'm at a private gym. Yeah, don't be that inconsiderate asshole that does their exercises on the dumbbell rack. You don't want to be that person, okay? So we'll finish up the dumbbell rows here. Then we finish up with that pullover I was talking about earlier. And then we move on to some biceps. I'm not sure what these are called exactly. I just call them lat pullovers. I think a lot of people call them that too. The Vulcan strap here actually feels really nice for these compared to like a straight bar or a rope, because you can stick your hands in the little slots. You don't have to worry about your grip fatiguing. And you can do a neutral position for your shoulder, so it's a little more shoulder friendly. Don't mind the booty angle here. The next angle is a little bit better. But we're just trying to create that arcing motion. So as you can see, it's like a small arc, and I'm bringing my chest through a little bit at the end. What you don't want this to be is you dry humping the air. Okay, that's a pet peeve of mine. When it comes to any like standing cable movement, is when I see people like using their hips to do the movement. It's like, what are you doing? Okay, so you look at my hips, like I'm stable. All the movement's coming from my arms and my upper back, and that's what we want. You see people doing shit like this, and they're literally like fucking the air. Okay, like don't let that be you. Okay, I know I sound pretty critical of people's technique sometimes, but most people's technique in the gym is pretty ass, so I think it's well deserved. Yeah, I just want my people to do better, especially if you're a trainer. So that was my last back movement for the day. Now we move on to arms. Maybe one of these days I'll enjoy training arms. Maybe I'll actually start to develop my biceps a little bit, and it'll be a little more enjoyable to train. But until then, I still keep it very basic. So easy bar curls. I do a little bit more bicep work on my pull day compared to like my upper body day, but I still don't enjoy training biceps that much. I think people get over like excited with training biceps because it's like the showy muscle or whatever. But if you have like solid quads, then training quads is probably way funner, in my opinion. So you got two angles here, one with the sunlight and then one off the mirror, just so I can look bigger. The off the mirror trick is crazy, you look like twice as big, especially if the lighting's good. So 2 sets of easy bar curls, then we move on to a dumbbell preacher curl, and then a shoulder extended cable curl, because we're trying to hit basically all three positions that you can hit your biceps with. So even though I hate training biceps, I'm still putting in the effort to hit them in all the positions that they need to be hit in. So the easy bar curl is like a full range of motion movement, and then the preacher curl is going to challenge the bicep in the short position, so getting that full contraction. And then the shoulder extended cable curl is going to challenge the lengthened portion more. I don't want to get too much into that stuff, but basically I'm just trying to hit the bicep on all the positions it needs to be hit in. Trying to make sure all my boxes are covered. It's just no one can convince me that bicep training is fun. It's like the same as ab training, Anyone that enjoys ab work is a psycho. And I stand on that. Or they're just a skinny twig that's had like a shredded six-pack their whole life, and it's just like ego stroking every time they do abs. Someone who's, especially if you're a guy like me who carries all their fat in their midsection, and you hate training abs. It's probably the most uncomfortable thing ever. So with the shoulder extended cable curl, you just want a slight extension of the shoulder, meaning your hands behind your hip essentially, and then you're just driving that up. And then we finish off with some reverse curls. I forgot to mention that, just to get some direct forearm work. Most programs don't, even include direct forearm work. I think Sam Sulek kind of made forearm work popular again. But I really get a good connection with my forearms doing reverse curls. And then also you're going to work that brachialis. Wow, I need a refresh on my anatomy. basically a big muscle underneath your bicep. So gonna make your arms look thicker over time if you develop that. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. You know, as always, if you guys enjoyed, drop a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.